There's something about Charlotte Tilbury that I love, and I don't know what it is. Hi guys! Welcome to London Diaries with Shikha. So for today's video, I'm going to review or give my first impressions, including an eye look for Charlotte Tilbury's new Instant Eyeshadow Palette, which consists of 12 shades and it is limited edition. If you're curious to find out my views, then please keep watching. So before we start, let's just have a look at what Charlotte Tilbury has to say about her palette. Now, this palette was launched last week. I received an email for a VIP preview access if I wanted to order this palette, which I did. I received it a couple of days ago, and now that I'm checking the website, it says it's out of stock. So that didn't last too long. You can enter your information if you want to be notified as soon as they bring it back in stock, and it does say that it is coming soon, so hopefully it is going to be restocked very shortly. Okay, so this is what Charlotte has to say. This is the ultimate beauty must-have. Charlotte's Genius Instant Eye Palette will take you from day to desk to date to disco. This easy-to-use eyeshadow palette with 12 color-coded shades is perfect for any women aged 18 to 80, so you can be prepared for any occasion. Then she carries on to say, darlings, this is for all seasons, all occasions. My Instant Eye Palette, inspired by Charlotte's Smoky Eye legacy, is a revolutionary controlled pressed palette that will change the way you apply your eye makeup with the perfect application every time. With this palette, you can achieve 4 looks. So you have the day look for a natural, fresh eye makeup. Then you have the desk look with pink, champagne, chocolate, brown, and caramel shades. Then you have the date look, which is made up of sultry, shimmering, mauve, cocoa, and chocolate shades. And then there is the disco look, which is the go-to party eye. Indulge with black and emollient rich molten gold for a dramatic rock chick look. Okay, now that's Charlotte's take on her palette. This is the outer packet. Okay, and then you guys might need some shades because this is super reflective. This is how the eyeshadow palette is, and when you open it, you get these shades. There is this kind of plastic sheet to cover the eyeshadows, and it also has got numbers 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The eyeshadow palette has total of 12 shades, and each look is comprised of 3 shades. So you have your day eye, then you have your desk eye, the 3 shades, then you have your date eye, and the final one is the disco eye. I think when you look at this eyeshadow palette, the first thing that probably is going to come to your mind is that, oh, it's going to be pretty similar to Urban Decay's Naked Basics 1 palette. I do not really have Urban Decay's Naked Basic 1 palette. I have a mini version, and I do believe it is pretty different, or well, at least it's different in my opinion. So guys, what I am going to do in this video is I'm going to create a look using the combinations that Charlotte suggests. So in this instant, I am going to create a look for desk eye using these 3 shades. But I feel like if you want, you could easily mix the colors together. Okay, so first let's start with priming the eyes, and for that I'm going to use a MAC paint pot in soft ochre. So let's just get it on a brush and apply it all over the lid. To set this in place, I'm just going to use my face powder from Sisley. Okay, so we have In this palette we have a day eye, a desk eye, a date eye and a disco eye at the very end. Each look is comprised of 3 shades. So for today's look, I think I'm going to go with desk eye, which is these 3 shades over here. I'm going to start with this color in the middle, this one over here, as my transition shade. Okay, now I'm going to take the first shade in this look, the glittery one, and apply it all over my lid. I'm using a flat shader brush, so let's see how it goes. This is how the shade it is on its own, but if you want to intensify it, you can always use Max Fix Plus on the brush first and then dip it into the shade. And finally, I'm going to take the third shade in this look, which is the darkest shade of them all, and intensify my crease or the outer V area. From under the brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight, I am going to use this shade from the disco eye look, the golden one, because I think that's the one that seems to be most suited for highlighting. Alright guys, so the eye look is complete and now it's time for my first impressions, what I like about this palette and what I don't like about this palette. Now, the 3 shades I used, I found them to be very easily blendable, and I also found them to be pigmented enough. I wouldn't say that they are super pigmented, but looking at them, feeling them and applying them, the application was super easy. And I think with Charlotte, one thing that you will get is super high quality. So that's the first thing that I have to say about this palette. The shimmery shade that I used, it was not too intense. Now, keeping in mind that I am trying to achieve a desk eye, then I think it is really good that the shimmering shade is not too overpowering, because surely you don't want to go to work with disco ball eyes. I would be really curious to play with date eye look and disco eye look to see how the shimmering shades perform in these sections. The fact that the fallout is really little in this eyeshadow palette, I think is great. Okay, so the only critique that I have for this eyeshadow palette is that I don't see a shade in here which I could use to set my eye primer with, so I had to use my face powder. But apart from that, I think it looks like a really decent palette. The other thing that I had to think about when I was creating the eye look was my inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. And what I would suggest is that if you're playing with a certain set, let's say if you are going for day eye look, then you can use the shimmer shades from other sets. Because if you're using the shimmer shade from the same set, then that might just blend in. So I would recommend that you use the shimmer shade from other sets. Like I mentioned, this eyeshadow palette retails for £60. There are 12 shades, 0.7 gram each. I love the packaging as well, and I am so far absolutely loving this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to play around with other shades and create more looks. I never ever got around to buying any of the full Urban Decay Naked Basics palettes, and now that I have purchased Charlotte Tilbury's Instant Eye Palette, I feel like I did the right thing, because I would prefer to buy Charlotte Tilbury's eyeshadow palette instead of Urban Decay's Naked Basics. That's how it is. I do believe I have captured everything. Everything. This is made in Italy, just for whoever is curious. So do I think this is a good buy? Definitely, I think it is. Would I recommend this for you guys? Definitely, I would. It is out of stock at the moment. I would suggest you enroll for Charlotte Tilbury's notification emails, and the moment they bring it back, they will notify you. So please do get your hands on this beauty. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, then please do leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, please keep smiling. Okay, is there anything we're missing? What am I doing really? I've messed up my hands. Cocoa and chocolate rock chick look. We're gonna do this again. Why am I sorry? It's a revolutionary control. We're gonna do this again.
Shade, shimmy shade, shimmy shimmy shade.
I'm saying so many times. Like I'm holding a brush. Seriously, Fix Max. The other thing that I had to think about, the other thing that I had to ice. I can't buy her eyes.